So we've got storage decisions to be made. So storage is, again, really important factor when deciding how your applications will be hosted in Azure. Every application needs to store data somewhere if it's stateful. So choosing your storage strategy is a really important decision. So there's various factors to think about when deciding on a strategy you go ahead with. So, do you need storage that is hosted on disks? IaaS virtual machines, can host disks and terabytes of data for your applications to access. That may be that your application runs on the machine and the storage, the disk is on the same machine as that. That's absolutely fine, or it can actually connect to other machines specifically set for storage. Do you need to host any static files such as images and MP3 files? Maybe you've got a web application that stores many images and videos that your application needs to access. You could use blob storage for that. Again, that's not a piece of kit that's attached to any virtual machines. The blob storage is containers that are kept within a storage account. So with these, obviously they're a lot more flexible with the tiers of storage. So you can have hot storage, cold, and archive. Hot being the most expensive tier of storage and archive being the cheapest, but they come with different statistics, such as hot storage is always readily available, but archive, it takes up to 24 hours to get that data. But on the other hand, it's quite a bit of difference in the costs when you're storing your data. So if you've got quite a lot of data that isn't really accessed, you could put it into archive data and save quite a lot of money on that, which is good. If you've got functions and web applications, so code running in functions as a service, this can actually read from the blob storage and write to it as well. So that's a really good option if you're currently using them resources. Or if you've got a platform as a service option for your storage, so Azure File Shares, this is kind of an SMB storage option that doesn't require any physical servers. It's placed in the cloud as part of a platform as a service. Permissions can be locked down with Azure Active Directory, and backups can be put in place, obviously, to make sure that we're backing that file share up every day. This is quite a popular option, especially using technologies such as Azure File Sync. If you're moving to the cloud, you could choose to put all your data in a file share, and then users can map a drive to that file share. And things like Azure Kubernetes services and containers that are running your applications can actually mount storage from file shares, which is really good to give it persistent storage. It's also worth thinking about data sovereignty again. Obviously, with this being the most important thing with storage accounts, you can replicate them to different regions. You can keep them in the UK. Obviously, it really depends on your requirements. There's different replication methods for storage accounts. So you've got locally redundant storage being the cheapest solution. This offers 3 copies in one data center. And then you've got the most expensive solutions, such as read access geo-redundant storage. And again, this is the most expensive option. It provides 6 copies across different data centers, and it actually gives you read access to that data if a data center ever went down or there was an outage, which, touch wood, there wouldn't be. But again, obviously, with geo-redundant storage, you can choose which regions you replicate this data to. So again, this is really important when you think of where your data can be hosted. Just obviously make sure that that's at the heart of what you're thinking about when deciding on the data strategy. In regards to the different storage as well, there's different tiers. So you've got premium storage, really popular one for live workloads, production workloads. So Microsoft recommend that all production is actually set on to premium storage. It basically, Microsoft guarantee that the VMs you've got up and running will run 99.9% of the time if you're running on premium storage. If you're running on standard storage, you've got no SLA there from Microsoft, and so it's good to use premium storage. Obviously, it comes at a bit of a cost, but production workloads are they're crucial that they need to be up and running 24/7, whether that's for your application or SLAs for customers. It's really important that storage is in place. And if you use premium storage, obviously you get really good read and write speeds for your disks as well, which is will help the application to work a lot better. So we've spoken about the different types of storage. Obviously, customers may be asking how do we get that storage into the cloud? So there's obviously solution that's been around for a while that we use, Robocopy. So Robocopy is a really popular method to get data from on-premises onto another server, whether that be on-premises or in Azure. There's also AZ Copy, which is very similar kind of command line tool that you can use to copy data from one place to another. You can use AZ Copy to go from, for example, a virtual machine on premises. You could use AZ Copy to get that data into a storage account. One of the things we see quite often as well, obviously, if you're using tools such as AZ Copy or Robocopy, if you've got, let's say, 20 terabytes of data, for example, that could take quite a long time and put quite a lot of strain on your network as well when you're moving the data to Azure. So, if you've got no throttling limits in there, it could just use all of your bandwidth, which of course causes concerns in other areas. So you can use a solution such as Databox. Microsoft released this last year or the year before. It allows you to send large amounts of data to Microsoft themselves, and they can upload it to the storage account or to your virtual machine themselves. So this obviously the cost comes along with this, but it's a really good method. And if you're looking to get terabytes upon terabytes of data into the cloud without requiring quite a lot of strain on your bandwidth, you could choose to send this to Microsoft and they'll actually upload it for you. And it's a much quicker method. Obviously, terabytes with Robocopy or AZ Copy can take quite a while. So this is much faster speeds if Microsoft can do this for you.